Okay, cool. We are officially live. All right, Miss Krissy. How you doing, by the way?
I'm doing good. Loving life.
Uh, good after. Well, this is evening time, but I'll just say hello. Hello, everyone. This is Andre Russell, CEO of Smith Center for Community Advancement, here for another installment of the Smith Center Spotlight. In this spotlight, we will be showcasing someone who I've known for a really, really long time. And always in a good space, always doing something for the community, and she's pretty dope. So I just recently saw her at this event on 43rd. It was it 43rd or 39th? I can't remember the block.
Yeah, it was 43rd. It was the SIP Savior and Support
Right,
event with Nicole Wheatley and Africa Enterprise and Cassie, the Black Mall.
right, all of
It was
that.
really, yeah, it was
Really,
really amazing.
it was really dope. It was a really dope experience, and always, and that's the type of stuff that Chris has been doing for as long as I met her. So she's never switched it up. She's always been about the community and fighting a good fight. So just a little bit of a background,
Sure.
just about you. Your mission, as you said before, is to foster a commitment that will promote pro-social friendship, strong interpersonal skills, and reassert a sense of hope in the future. Through the companies you have worked with, you have created the Blue Den, Busy Women Consultant Incorporated. You are dedicated to serving the needs of our community, which we talked about definitely,
hmm
and you continually seek to enhance your strength, knowledge, and presence everywhere within the community, which I've personally seen. Your work has been seen at businesses and events, at like the opening of the Bop Biz Center, the First Taste of Black Chicago, Real Men Cook, the Quarry, Kwanzaa events, and of course operations with the Black Mall. So you are talented. You are a spokeswoman. You are knowledgeable. You are definitely a lot of Renaissance women that just be on point. And so I just think you are so dope with that. So I brought you on to talk about your projects and just whatever. So this is your time to shine, basically. So just real
I'm
quick.
so appreciative.
Oh, no problem. So real quick, just tell us a little bit. Well. So you got that part, but just tell us just about your passion and about why you have this passion.
Um, well, what many don't know, and probably I have a similar story to what many people have. I had a good childhood, but there were those moments where you just were not. There was those moments of struggle. So there was the good and there was the bad. And what I've started to witness as me traveling back from Chicago to Waukegan, because there was a period where I lived in Waukegan for like 8 years of my life. Um, so with me living out there and traveling back to Chicago, I could see the difference between how the neighborhoods and the community operated. I remember living in Waukegan and we was able to go outside for lunch. We were able, while we were in high school, we have smoothies as part of our lunches, and the food was just different. Um, and then when I moved here to Chicago, I finished my last 2 years, and with that, I just noticed the difference, and I wanted to be able to give back. And for me, I know to give back, it had to be through like job opportunities. So I went to school for business, and from there, I went on and took on courses and got involved in project management.
Mm,
And that's what my master's degree. So that childhood experience and just being very observant of what's going on in the world right now. And even back then, when I was younger and in high school, that's where my passion came from. That's where my drive. And not only being the oldest, I'm the oldest girl as far as the grandchildren. So, you have to set the tone and be the leader. And I feel I've done those things and then some.
right, right. Definitely seeing it. Right. Um, Real quick. So how did you get connected with? Well, tell me about the Blue Den. Okay, that's how I first met you, through the Blue Den. So tell me about that.
Sure. So the Blue Den was originally what the first business that I created, and the Blue Den has a focus on personal social development, academic development, and career development. And those all came about because as a person, you have to have some type of character development, how you deal with people, your body language, as your attitude and your tone and how you speak with people, um, and just also knowing how other people operate at the same time. So that's more of a sense with the personal social development to where I see that is something that's lacking. So that was something that I created. And then the academic development, like with the right now, the schools is prison to pipeline to to jail. And with that is being able to provide the youth with more opportunities than what I see that was going on in Chicago versus when I was growing up in the north suburbs.
Mm, okay. Um, so so I've seen you involved in so many different projects, and even though they have like some mutual connections, they're really diverse projects. So how do you choose your projects, and what motivates you to get involved the way you get involved with them projects?
Um, because I'm very observant, I would say is where I see what the need is, the lack of maybe even understanding, or somebody is ultimately like doing a lot of different things. What I've been studying is the E myth recently. And that just breaks down the different things of being like the technician, the manager, and the entrepreneur. And what I
Mm,
understand with being with the E myth, a lot of business owners are the technician, and the technician is the one that's doing the job, basically doing everything. And with them doing everything, if something happens to them, their business won't flourish.
mm-hmm.
So, what I see with some of the projects, it could be me just inserting myself, or just observing what's going on, and to be able to provide some type of insights on how to improve your flow of operations.
Mm. Okay, a lot of us need that, 'cause a lot of people have ideas. Like, I have ideas, and I may not know how to do the first step to get it motivated, or I might know the first step but not know the second step. And so you're the type of person that will come in and actually like tweak that idea, make it better, and make it flow. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. Cool, cool. What has been your favorite project so far? I mean, you've been involved in so much stuff. Like, I think I know we named a little bit of it, but I mean, from the Taste of Chicago, talk about that for a moment and how impactful that was. That was a pretty cool event, by the way.
Yeah. For me, I was there to help with do my part. To be able to share what was going on, and just to help keep up with certain things. Um, for me, all of the events are just something that I love to do. And I believe your question was which one was my favorite. Well, anything that involves food.
Where does it go?
Listen, I have a Taurus moon, and if you know anything about Tauruses, then you know Tauruses love food.
Okay. Yeah, I know a few. I know a few. You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
We love food. So, I can't tell you where it goes because I don't know. um, but yeah, so I'm sorry. That kind
No,
of threw me off. What was
well,
the question?
what's next for you? I know the summer. Well, how have you been dealing with the 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 current crisis, pandemics going on? I want to talk about the COVID, but also like you were very, like, what did you do during the racial fallout that happened about a month ago and things like that? Like, what are your thoughts about that?
Um, it was for me. That was a setup. I'm just that was a setup, and they did all of that to get everybody all rattled up, to start tearing up businesses. And then, of course, they're going to start it downtown. But then for me with them with the riots and everything like that, it was just a matter of what's next, you know. How are we going to recover from this? We already have limited resources, so why would you go, excuse me, and destroy what you're gonna need to go to tomorrow? You know, and then the same people that came and helped get everything all rattled up, they're going back to the suburbs and they nice neighborhoods that's blocked off where you won't be able to come and do any of that in their neighborhoods.
Oh yeah, you're right. Heavens no, they're not playing that.
So it's
Um,
like, why even do, as far as, let me fix my camera, why even fall for the bait? That was bait, in regards to that. For me, I guess you could say it was more like go time for me because I have been studying this. I have been analyzing this because I observe. So I'm like, I analyze things. And before Trump even got into office, even while Obama was in office, I'm watching and paying attention to what is being done, what is being said, and just, connecting the dots. And it's like something is about to happen.
right, and
But something
yeah,
something is about to happen. And I guess to piggyback to why I created my non for profit organizations, because I knew um, why I created the Blue Den, I knew that we were going to need to know how to have this basic survival. Um, and that is to know how to make our own clothes, growing our own fruits and vegetables, um, weapons. Like, it's
mhm,
important. We can't be out here talking about we ain't got no weapons and our enemies surrounding us got weapons. That wouldn't make any sense either.
right, right.
Um,
So it's
but
July now. We about
right.
to go back into the school session, and everybody's pretty wary about that. Have you had any thoughts about school and the current status right now? Bringing kids back to school or not, or whatever the case may be.
The school system was already failing us from the get go, so I'm already opposed to it. With that, I encourage online, and I look forward to seeing more Black online schools available. Because I'm gonna be supportive of them, and like I said, I know that there are certain things that they can't teach us, because they're not us. So how can you teach me something we're not even the same?
Yeah, that's a good. I think you made a. I think you raised a good point right there because come to think of it, if we're switching to this online curriculum and doing remote learning, how much of it will be reflective on Black studies or cultural education? They're going to stick to the basics of what they have to do for the curriculum base, but I wonder how much of it will incorporate, cultural education to some degree,
Right.
and how much of that will be on the teachers. I know the CPS, I work for a charter school, so it's a different setup, but I wonder how CPS will have those adjustments because I have no connection with how that work. But I thought about that, like, I wonder, will this be the total? I mean, I know education was whitewashed, but it's like the total whitewashing of what they will
Hmm.
implement for us academically wise in grade school as well as high school. So we have the next 6 months ahead of us. What do you see yourself getting into next? What's the next project you got going?
Well, I'm currently working with Real Men Charities, and the Quarry, and every Fridays they have a food giveaway that's going on until August, and that is at 7933 South Yates. I believe you'll enter in on Phillips if you have a car to be able to drive around and with your car, and then you can enter in on Yates in front of the church.
Yeah,
7933 is a church. Um, so you could come in front if you are walking, and you'll drive in through Phillips, if you're driving. And with that, I'm a part of the summer program this year, with the youth. The program is for 16 to 24-year-olds.
Hmm.
We have met our max of students, so I have to put that disclaimer out there. But the students are going to be working with our new chef, and
Oh,
Chef Dre. He's the owner of Signature Plates.
okay.
Um, then we're also going to be working with Dr. Obari Cartman,
Yes.
and I will be there with my Career Essentials program, and just blending and providing something new at the quarry, um, but also what is also needed and necessary in this time, because though um, COVID-19 is going on, we still need jobs, we still need money, we still need to be actively moving and doing something, because they're sitting dormant, you know, not doing anything, is like dumbing some of us down. Not all
Abs-
of us, but
Absolutely.
dumbing some of us down. So that's currently what I'm focusing on right now. And then I guess more of my personal loving me more, loving my not more, but loving myself, doing more of the things that Krissy wants to do in my personal life, and embracing being 35.
35. And in my head, I still think you're in your 20s. I swear. Like, you, you tell me that, I was like, what? I can't believe it.
That I hear that with everybody though. And when I say that I'm 35 or even above my in my 30s, the what you're still in high school. What are you saying?
Right. And do you think that's like a stigma they put on you? Like, they try to put that on you thinking that you're younger than you actually are yet, and you might not know what they know. Do you feel yourself living in a bubble like that, or they try to put you in a bubble?
Yeah, many people try to put me in a bubble, because they do think that I'm younger sometimes. But when I said that, most of the time change when I do have a conversation that enlightens me, that we can relate on, and not only that, those deep intellectual conversations. And yeah, so it is something that I go through all the time, but I'm so used to it. It's like, see, you shouldn't assume.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. So I think the last question I will ask is about activism, lack of, or the appearance of activism. What do you think is in your interpretation is what's missing when it comes to people just being more active and just supporting people, and what do you want to see when it comes to supporting you?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Mm. What I would like to see, um, of course, is for us to be able to unite with each other and be able to move past our egos.
Mm,
Because a lot of us are living in our egos right now. And, um, the ego, what I'm learning, because I've been living in my ego, but I've been working on my shadow side. And I think what is important for us to start doing is healing as families and rebuilding what has been dysfunctional for so long. Um, so I think that would be the first thing, is to be able to love on self, accept self, be able to start opening and having those conversations with your family members, and then from the family members to the community, starting somewhere, so that we can be able to support each other, because ultimately we shouldn't still be in competition. There shouldn't have any type of classisms that we are dealing with amongst ourselves if we're also dealing with that everywhere else.
right. A lot of that's a good answer, and it's just reflective. A lot of people who are out here, they all say, I say we all say the same thing, that our worst enemy a lot of times is ourselves in so many different ways. And I really can't figure out why. Well, I mean, we can go and break down some of the logistics, some of the stressors. Why
Hmm.
we could call it slave mentality, we can call it egos, we can call a lot of different things.
PTSD, post traumatic slave syndrome,
All of that, right? All of
all
that.
of
But at
that.
the end of the day, you have to be cognizant of, do you want to see something different, and what is your part in doing that? You know what I
Right.
mean? At the end of the day, do you want to see change? Yes.
Mhm.
Easy answer. Yes or no? No. Okay, we'll see you later. Yes. Okay. If you say yes, then let's do ABC. Now,
Right.
in
Here's what you
AB,
need to do to
in
hold yourself
ABC,
accountable.
in ABC, you have to be the individual to say what you can and can't do. Don't promise A and then don't show up for B and C, you know, or you say, you know what, A isn't my thing, but I'd rather do B and C. At least you stepping up and saying you're gonna do something. You know, a lot of times people are just, talking about stuff, and they, like I've been doing this a lot. People be, tapping on the keyboards real hard about what we should be doing, but when it comes to getting out there and doing stuff like supporting and doing things like that, even showing up at the slightest degree, people don't do it. They have excuses. um
Mhm.
what is what is your response? I see you shaking your head like so what did
I mean, because there are the doers and then there are the thinkers. So, just understanding, okay, yeah, doers and thinkers, and even the shit, I guess you could add the shit talkers.
yeah,
But with that, and I hear exactly what you're saying, because I have been that person where I may have committed something and because of the other things that I had going on in my
oh
life,
yeah,
which
yeah,
was chaotic, I wasn't able to follow through on
yeah,
B and C. But
right.
we live and learn, in regards to those matters.
But you're
Um,
still out there though. But you're still out there because
yeah,
see, I think that we as people who are doers need to not be so heavy on ourselves about that stuff.
mm,
You know what I mean? Because a lot of times, including myself, like I wish I could be everywhere. And I see things online like, oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. I would love to come out there, but I've already committed to something, or I'm doing some self care because I done extended myself, or whatever the case may be. You have to have those checks and balances because if you go everywhere, you're no good to anybody after a while. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
it's tremendous, but it's still taxing, and we got to take care of ourselves. We got to take care of ourselves in some way, whether it's rest, whether it's recreation, whatever the case may be, or just checking out, because
yeah.
that emotion will kick in after a while, So so question for you: what do you do to check out, relax, relate, release? And then
Whew.
I'll let you go after that.
Well, I'm going to say I want to add something before I answer that question. Um, and my recent message to myself, well, it was to myself, but it was through my friend. Um, and she basically said that when you are when you're scattered all over the place, you can't be whole.
Mm, mm. I like that.
Me too. I had
I
to
like that.
pause too and
I
like,
like
wait a
that.
minute, dang, you're right. If you are scattered all over the place, you can't be whole. And I was just, mm.
I like that. Okay.
So that was my message from the universe because I took that to heart and took that from the universe. So just some things because I have been in many places and what I'm practicing is making sure that I get massages because whew, I'm stressed being the oldest, number one. And just being out here, being an activism and being active in the community and building my business and being a mom. Most don't know I'm a mom of three, and those who do know are still in shock, like you are. What?
I was when I first saw him last year. I was like, "Where that kids come?" I was like, "What?" Once again, it
Yeah.
was like not knowing, but that's not knowing because you keep your business private, and that's good. So when somebody comes around, it's like, wow, okay, cool, and that's dope because you don't wear that. You know what I mean? So yeah,
And I'm appreciative of you even saying that because me living it, me being the person, that's not what I see. I'm managing An empire. That's what I'm doing. I'm managing
Hmm.
an empire. Um, Now your question was, what am I doing?
Yeah, to
Getting
relax,
massages.
release. Yeah, massages. Okay, what else?
Well, I'm doing my best to take some more trips. To be able to explore this land because ultimately that's all I want to do. I need to go touch stuff, you know. Um, Other than that, for me is being in nature. And being away from people. I love to be alone. I'm okay with being alone. But every once in a while, I like to be around people. I'm still kind of, but I like to be around people just to be able to vibe. Um, but I love to be in nature. Nature is my thing, and I'm a Taurus moon, so Earth sign.
You remind me of my friend so much. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Thank you so much, Krissy, for the
No, thank
spotlight
you. This is awesome.
and everything. I'm definitely and I can definitely bring you on for other conversations that we have further on this platform and everything. But my main goal was just to showcase people that I think just needs to be highlighted. Like I said,
I'm appreciative.
I seen you and so many others out in community, and y'all do so much. And I know you don't look for the spotlight, but it's good
I
to just
don't.
shine it on you. Just say, hey, pay attention to this person because this person, whether it's male or female, brother or sister, they're out here doing something, and you need to check them out and look to support them. Bottom line, it's all about supporting each other and not just looking at them like, oh, they're doing a good job and keep moving. Like we have to be more supportive on some level or another. So this is my way of
Yeah.
doing that. And I definitely will see you out and about. And you take care of yourself
Right.
and stay safe and healthy and all that good stuff. Okay.
I'm definitely staying safe because I'm a herbalist. I love my herbs. And outside of my herbs, I love to eat my fruits and vegetables for sure. Even though I love to eat, it's
Yes.
the healthy stuff.
Right.
It's
Right.
healthy. So, oh, let me just add,
Yeah.
with the high school students, last year I created a smoothie company for the high school students so that they can
Oh,
gain work experience.
okay. Awesome.
Yeah, how can I forget that?
Right. Okay. They're still going on. They still going on.
Well, this is the first week of the training, so they have to
Oh,
go through
cool.
the training to learn how to actually make the smoothies. But this week we were focused on the food handler certificates and training, so that they can actually work in the kitchen with COVID-19. We have
Mm-hmm.
to have our licenses
Yep. 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 Gotta
and
be up on that.
certified.
Yep.
So that was week one. But next week they're going to be learning more on how to actually make the smoothies, and we're going to be prepping for August when there's a little bit more activity for things to be outside.
Okay.
So a part of the food that's becoming available at the quarry, they'll be selling smoothies as one of the drinks. And we're currently working on a few other locations and partnerships. But yeah, we're doing smoothies.
Well, thank you so much for that insight. I love check out smoothies. I like all that good stuff too as well. So let me know. So I'll definitely come out and support you. Do all that stuff. Okay.
For sure, I will.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Thank you. All right, everybody.
Thank
Peace.
you. Peace and love.